Hello and welcome to today's show from a particularly chilly UK. Although on today's show we do have some bikes which are suitable for the weather. Okay, going to start off the show with some very important news from Canyon, who have detected some small cracks and a small amount of batteries on their Spectral on CFR bikes and Torque-ons. Now, they're requesting that customers take a look at their batteries and see if they are the affected serial numbers, which I'll be coming on to in a minute. We did get in touch with Canyon, who, as expected, are massively gutted about this whole situation and are very apologetic. But obviously, they need to make sure that they're ahead of this situation. Breakages, mechanical breakages, electrical breakages do happen on household goods, on all goods. Motors fail, frames break, derailleurs break, wheels crack. But obviously, because this is an electrical item, it is a little bit different. Now, this is part of the statement from Canyon, who say, "We've discovered a small amount of cases where damages or cracks to the housing of the batteries for Canyon Spectral on CF, Spectral on CFR, or the Torque on CF can occur. These gaps or cracks in the housing could lead to moisture ingress within the battery that in very rare cases can trigger a short circuit that can bypass the fail-safe protection mechanisms within the battery. As a result, we cannot exclude the risk that the battery might catch on fire, resulting in the risk of personal injury or damage to property." The affected battery numbers are BT001, 002 and 003. Oh, and 004. Now, I've actually just popped down to take the battery out of my very worn Spectral on. This is the battery here, and I can just put my phone on to check. This is, I have already had a quick look at it, but I'm just checking in lots of these areas here, looking down the frame here. So, and also in this LED area, if you can see that on the screen there now. So this bike of mine is, like I said, a very worn bike, and I'm doing this legit. This is doing a test on it, having a look for any cracks. Obviously, I'm gonna have to return this battery to Canyon and not charge it, but no cracks on this particular battery. Didn't check the serial number, did I? So if you look here, yes, this is a BT001. Serial number is here. You see that on screen. Not brilliant news, but Canyon do point out that the incidents are very, very low, yet they cannot take a risk with the safety of customers. That is why they're instructing customers using the 001, 002, 0003 and 0004 batteries on these bikes to stop using the affected battery and not charge it. Now, the process for returning or recycling your battery, I'm going to leave a link in the video below, because there's lots of different scenarios depending on what country you live in. It's not ideal news for a lot of Canyon users. I mean, I'm as gutted as anybody else because I really love riding my Canyon Spectral on, although maybe not so much in this weather. Okay, some other news now. Alutech, now German brand Alutech, has just launched a new bike, the E-Pelmo, which is based on the MTB, the Pelmo. Probably one of the lighter of the Alutech bikes, weighs in just under 18 kilos. This comes with a Bosch SX drive unit and a 400 watt hour motor battery. Now, Alutech have chosen to go aluminium with this bike, and there are 3 versions available, starting at €4,600 for the frame set or €7,000 for the comp version. Now, this is quite interesting news. You're able to get the bike also with a roll-off E14 hub gear as well for an additional €2,000. I think that's quite an interesting proposition. Frame travel on the bike, 150, 160 front, 150 rear. As I said, 400 watt hour battery with a 250 watt hour range extender. 64-degree head angle, 74-degree seat tube angle. The information isn't quite on the website yet, but there are 2 posts on Instagram where we can look at these bikes. Okay, Black Friday sale, folks. We've got discounts on kit and clothing and accessories. All you need to do is click on the link in the description and you can browse the discounts in the EMBN shop. Obviously a good time of the year for some woolly hats. Right, other news on bikes, you might have seen on the channel on the weekend, we were riding the Raymond Trailray Ultra 180. Now, we first saw this bike as a prototype in Riva del Garda show earlier in the year. But this bike, which they call a Fortress on wheels, is now in production version, although it is only available on a waiting list. Two models available, the Trailray 180 Pro at 6,299 and the Trailray 180 Ultra at 7,499. The bike comes with a Yamaha PWXM motor, 800 watt-hour battery, mixed wheel size, and it's a full aluminium frame on that bike. Okay, time now to turn our attention to possibly the star bike of today's show. This is the new Giant Yukon E+. It is quite niche, but Giant have released the Yukon and say that it's something for those who embrace the thrill of winter riding. Well, it definitely seems to be a bike which is suitable for the snow, but they say it's also quite capable in sand and dirt as well during the rest of the year. So if you love winter riding, this could be the bike you're exactly looking for. And it comes with cold weather foam brake levers to help with warmth and grip, and also comes with 4.5-inch studded tyres. The Giant Sync Drive Pro 2 motor is at the heart of the bike, 85 Newton meters and tunable via the app. 27.5 wheels, 100mm travel up front, and a price starting at 6,499 euros. Sorry, dollars. Okay, time now for cool places. Well, here's a cool place, that's for sure. Let's start off with Nick, who needed some carrying in the last 500 meters to get to the pointy summit of Monte Bellino at 3,000 meters, followed by a hard 2,000 meter descent. Monte Bellino, I'm guessing that's possibly in Italy. Next up is Spring E-Enduro at the foothills of the Chilean Andes with Javier Z and Rosita the dog, and my very stock Specialized Levo SL Gen 2. Having climbed 1,000 meters from Santiago to the west, another 200 meters to ascend before enjoying 10 kilometers of strict downhill single tracks. Javier, I was fortunate to have been in that area about a decade ago with Eduardo and the team. What a fantastic part of the world that is. Next up, looking over Los Angeles, El Prieto Trail in LA, rough climb and amazing downhill section. This is from Neil, nice decoy there, nice bit of rock slab action in the back of the shot. And finally, Jason just come back from a few days in the Lake District on his Pivot Shuttle SL XTR team overlooking Coniston from Parkamore. Thanks so much for your cool place photographs, folks. So now moving on to some comments and feedback from you guys over the past few weeks. On the topic of mixed wheel sizes, Phantom Fish said, I wish manufacturers would stop making their bikes bipolar, mixed wheels, geo-adjustable frames that do nothing but confuse the majority of owners. All marketing bull. Well, do you agree? Are you team 29, 27.5 or mixed? Do you think more adjustability is a bad thing? I think it's an interesting subject. I think there is an argument to say that maybe some brands should stick to and believe in the geometry that makes the bike work at its best. I'm not entirely sure that lower bottom brackets and slacker head tube angles really do affect climbing that much. I think most people, from what I see and hear, is that lots of people are in it for the downs. And we put a video out on the channel a few weeks ago where we looked at climbing, and there's only a select few that are actually into technical climbing at the moment. I'm sure that will change in the future, but like I said, I'm not sure that a low bottom bracket, as long as it's not under 340 mil or is like 61 degrees head angle is going to affect it that much. Next up, Timothy Jaco also weighed in on the wheel size. How about wheel sizing corresponding to rider bike sizes? If 29 solves it all, why do we have 20 and 24-inch wheels on youth bikes? I think I'll leave that one for you folks to discuss in the comments. And in one of our latest videos, we talked about climbing. Cura Styles wanted to know, great video, thank you. That's no problem. I have one question, please. Tyre pressures. I would have thought these would have been very important also. Do you know, as a massive oversight on my part, although I will be tackling it in a future video, which will be coming up over Christmas time. Yeah, tyre pressures are massive. Obviously, it's linked to the type of tyre you have. If you have a tyre with a thin sidewall, then that's going to be prone to pinch punctures at low tyre pressures. However, I think if you're going for extended climbs, for myself, around about 95 kilos, you could probably go down to 20 psi in the rear. But yeah, it all depends on your tyre. But like I said, if you've got really long extended climbs in wet, slippery conditions, a lower tyre pressure will make a big difference, irrespective of the tyre compound. But please, it is crucial to understand that tyre compound is arguably one of the most important upgrades you can do to your e-mountain bike. So there's a variety of questions there from you folks. Please keep them coming in. It's really good to get engaged in things such as tyres and tyre pressures to help us all to have better times on our e-mountain bikes. Okay, it's bike vault time. Yeah, actually in this bike vault, yeah, let us know if you agree or disagree with some of our nices or super nices. Beginning with David Thompson's Cube Stereo Hybrid 140 HPC SLX. This is out to a nearby forest and had a lot of fun. Average heart rate 147 and 32 kilometers covered. David, I think that is a super nice shot. And so too is the next one from Dustin Brewster. New to e-bikes from the motor world, I'm riding my new 23 Husqvarna Hardcross 5 with all the dealer rebates. Snagged this for 6,200 Canadian dollars or 3,500 GBP. Wow, that's a pretty good deal I think you've got there. Like I said, that is definitely a super nice. And then Stu Homer, Wire Forest Turbo Levo Pro Carbon. That's a very shiny bike, Stu. That must be, that's got to be a brand spanking new bike, right? That's a super nice. There's some birds. Got some crows and ravens chasing some seagulls. I don't know what they're doing in town. I don't see seagulls here. What the hell's going on? What a strange day it is. Anyhow, back to the bikes. Mac McKinley. I am 80 years old and I've been riding mountain bikes for 35 years. This is his 2019 Special Levo at San Antonio, Texas. Mac, it's got to be a super nice, right? And that's the bike vault. Crikey. Was that 4 or 5 super nices in the bike vault? I think that's a first for quite a long time. Great to see the bikes. Nice variety in there. Keep them coming, folks. Okay, and wrapping the EMBN show up, looking at some social posts. I mean, autumn has certainly been quite kind to many of us. There's been some prime conditions on the trails, so take advantage whilst you can. Although, I don't think I'll be going out for a few days. Maybe I'll be looking for some mud guards quite soon. Now, there's a topic. Okay, first up, sometimes conditions are too good to pass up. And then, wow, look at this here. This really makes us want to go out for a ride. And finally, that trail there, wow, that looks pretty awesome too, doesn't it? Folks, that's it for this week's EMBN show. Coming up on the channel on Sunday is a really interesting look into a variety of e-mountain bikes. So what we have is a range of bikes, different travel, different wheel size. We've got the Amflow in there. We've got the Nikolai with the Pinion MGU in there. And the discussion is all about what are the decisions we need to make when it comes to buying an e-mountain bike. That's on the channel on Sunday. Hopefully we'll see you next week from our new studio. But until then, get your gloves on.